Seth, let me ask you, am I wrong or right for making this statement? Martinsville, Bristol, and the Roval were three of the best tracks on the circuit the past 5 years.
Yes,
Okay.
you're 100% correct.
Now, in 2022, me and you have been to Martinsville, the Roval, and Bristol. Have those three races not been the worst three races that you've been to this year?
Yes, they have been the worst three races I have ever been to. Cup races.
This is maybe one of the most disappointing things that NASCAR has ever done. Maybe I can't say that. Maybe that's not true, and maybe that's just relevancy to right now. But this is painful to watch.
Yep.
Like we've ruined two of the best racing products that we have had over the past 4 or 5 years. Like all we've talked about in the past however many years is we want more short tracks and more road courses, and we are getting more short tracks. We got more road courses, and now both of them suck. And it sucks because Seth, do you think this is a good race car? The next gen car is a good car on mile and a halfs and
on mile and a halfs, and yes.
Has it not made the racing 10 times better?
Yes.
Yes. Was it worth sacrificing?
No.
No.
And truthfully, the things that have made it good on mile and a halfs, nothing, the reasons it sucks on road courses and short tracks, other than the horsepower, none of those things have an impact on the way it races at a mile and a half.
Yeah.
None of it was necessary.
No. It's just, and it seems to be, and I'm like I said last week about the safety thing. I don't work on race cars. I don't work in the sport. I don't know these things, but it seems, especially, hearing from industry members, it seems like it's not that hard of a fix to make this racing better on these tracks. You could not pass at all at the Roval. Not even Chase Elliott could pass at the Roval. And that's not a knock on him. He was just the only guy that could pass, at the Roval, even with in 2019 when we have, I would imagine, the most similar package to this. It's dirty air. They're going too fast through the corner. So Seth, you've raced go-karts for me at Rush Hour Karting, great karting place here in the Raleigh Garner area. You've watched Tyler and I. You say we're pretty even, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You see how hard it is for us to pass each other?
Yeah, as long as you're not running into each other.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we don't run into each other. There's a third person who likes to run into everybody. We're not going to mention
true.
him.
He likes to use you guys as a cue ball, and
besides the point. And it's so hard to pass because we're so evenly matched, and we're in the same fucking cart, and we have tires that don't wear out because we're go-karting. Yeah. We're basically racing go-karts, it seems like.
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
And not in the good sense, like Ayrton Senna once said.
Yeah.
When you're all running the same speed and running, the tires aren't wearing, or I guess they weren't wearing. Holy shit, can I talk? Wearing. They were getting too hot, and that's why we saw tire deck. But still,
yeah. Well, they were definitely wearing a little bit, because that's how Chase Elliott ended up with the lead, is because he pitted like 2 laps earlier than the other guys. But
yeah,
not enough to overcome how deep you can drive in the corner and how much speed you're carrying through the corner. And it was just like, we saw in stage 1, we saw William Byron run down the 22 and then just get stuck.
Yeah.
I remember looking around with the guys we were watching with, and I was like, I really hope he's just not trying. And I was just like, I really hope everybody was just playing it safe during stage 1. I knew in the back of my mind that's not what was happening, but I was trying to be positive. And then the same thing happened stage 2 and stage 3.
You know, one of the most appealing things to me about road racing the past couple years, um, as much as I have some disdain for this driver, and if you didn't know this, this might be groundbreaking news that I don't like Chase Elliott. Um, you know, one of the funnest things to watch on road courses is how fucking smooth Chase Elliott is.
Yeah.
And how much him being smooth and just hitting his marks lap after lap after lap after lap, how impressive that is and how much better that makes him than the field.
Yeah.
And you know what else is interesting? Watching AJ Allmendinger just wheel the fuck out of a cup car on a road course and just outdrive everyone else.
Yeah.
Neither of those drivers made a difference in those race cars yesterday. Neither of them made a difference. Well, they had to have made some well, AJ made some sort of difference in the 16. That's why he's running up at the front, but not to the level that we saw before.
Yeah.
And you know, parity is always good in the sport, or so we say. It's not actually always good. Not when you gotta have these guys like AJ Allmendinger, Chase Elliott, Tyler Reddick, these road racers. They have to be able to make a difference and make a significant difference and use their skill set that they've developed and proven that they have.
Yeah.
To make a race interesting.
And you can have the same package to that extent on the cars. It just needs to be something that allows them to do that. Smaller brakes, more throttle variance in the car. That will allow guys who are fantastic at getting on the brakes, Chase Elliott, Tyler Reddick, AJ Allmendinger, that will allow them to really show what they're made of. And like you're saying, it just is not, it doesn't matter anymore because everybody can drive as deep as they fucking want into the car in the corner and it'll stick.
I think they're not spinning the tires off the corner. And I think we can have these wider tires. I think we can have the bigger brakes, but if we have enough horsepower and enough tire fall off, it won't matter that you have bigger brakes and a bigger contact patch on the tire. You're still gonna have to wheel the damn thing if you have those two things I just mentioned, and you'll see a great race.
Yeah,
and you know these bigger brakes, these guys like Chase Elliott, AJ Allmendinger, they'll be able to use the bigger brakes to their advantage. Where if you have, you know, more horsepower and more tire deck, those are the two main things that you need to fix right now.
I get what you're saying, but imagine how fun it would be if you had all four of those things.
Oh, no, I mean, no, 100%.
Like it would be it. That's what Cup road course racing. That's why it was so fun to people like you and I, and that was what was so just engaging about it. Is you would sit there and watch. Like even if the race wasn't fantastic, you'd be sitting there watching guys sit there and drive these cars, and it was so fun. And now it's just. I fucking zoned out halfway through this race. Like
a wise man once said, the best part about road racing in the NASCAR Cup Series is the fact that these cars aren't supposed to be doing it.
Yep.
That wise man was Seth Dolby. And now these cars are built to run on road courses, and look at this. They're not as fun on road courses. I feel like you can tweak it and you can make it better, but it's just something that I think, you know, it's unfortunate and it's clearly flawed.
The problem is it's going to require NASCAR to admit that their idea was bad.
Yeah.
And go back on some of these things.
Which it seems like Steve Phelps had a meeting. It was more dealing with safety. Seems like Steve Phelps is listening.
I mean, I really hope he is, but
it
admitting
seems like
go ahead. Going back to fix things on a safety thing is a lot easier than on a product thing, at least historically for NASCAR.
It seems like Steve it seems like Steve Phelps is on the driver's side in a sense. From what I heard and the little bit I saw of him talking during pre-race, it seems like he's like, you know what? Yeah, you drivers are fucking right. we need to make these cars safer. And I'm sure Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, Chase Elliott, those guys, they'll get in his ear and be like, oh yeah, also let's do these things to make the racing product better. So hopefully we shouldn't have been in this position to begin with, but at least it seems like we have a leader that maybe will listen and maybe get these problems fixed. Because I mean, we can't have it's not the track's fault. I've seen a lot of people saying, well, we should have run the oval. No, the Roval, the 4 races at the Roval before yesterday.
Yeah.
You can't tell me they weren't 4 fantastic races.
Yeah.
I mean, the Roval has produced some great racing. Like we said earlier, like probably the top 3 best tracks on the circuit. And we ruined it. So,
yep.
And we ruined Martinsville. So that'll be fun to watch and here in a couple weeks.
I'm fucking dreading that.
Yeah.
500 laps. Oh.
Yeah. So I guess that answers the ultimate question. Was the Roval a good race? It was not.